Hello everyone, I'm Sohnjee. Thank you for stopping by my channel. If this isn't your first time and you've checked me out before, thank you so much for coming back. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome. I'd very much appreciate it if you hit the subscription button and the little bell so that you will be notified when I upload new content. Okay, so let's get into it. We are discussing astrological pairings based on sun sign. In this video, we will be discussing Virgo. Who's a Virgo? Well, Virgos have birthdays that fall between calendar date August 23rd through and including September 22nd. So if you or your loved one has a birthday that falls on or in between those days, they are Virgo. So what are we doing? We are pairing up sun sign Virgo with every other sun sign on the astrological chart. And we're seeing what a typical relationship is like when you are paired with Virgo. Now, here's the disclaimer. Is this everything that'll happen in your relationship? Absolutely not. People are different and unique in their own ways. However, this is a general depiction of what could happen when your sun sign is paired with Virgo. Got it? Good. Okay, so let's talk about some general description of sun sign Virgo. Well, right off the top, Virgos are known for being quite thorough. What does that mean? Well, they are known as the perfectionist of the zodiac. Yeah. If you want something planned and done right the first time, you should probably get yourself a Virgo to complete the task. The Virgo is the smoldering intellectual type, all right? They have a fantastic eye for detail, and they love order, efficiency, and precision in all things, okay? Now, if you find intelligence and professionalism with a reserved demeanor, typically, then you're gonna love yourself a Virgo. Virgos have a very quick mind and typically a very good sense of humor in most things. A Virgo will lose patience if you are not quite as precise and proficient as you could be. But we'll talk about that later in the sun sign pairings, okay? They are the empathizers and the good listeners of the zodiac. So if you've got a Virgo in your life and you're going through some things, they are the ones to tell your problems to and probably come up with a great solution for you too. Now, a common fault attributed to Virgo is that they are highly critical of themselves and others. They are likely to have trouble relaxing as they are so efficient that Virgos just keep going and going and going. And being idle seems like a waste of time to most Virgos. So, they are typically reserved people, and they don't relax and let their hair down, so to speak, until they know you. Virgos are known to be the observers of the zodiac, a lot like Scorpio, but slightly different. They are analytical, discriminating about who they spend their time with, and quite reliable once you have a Virgo in your life. Now, Virgos typically have a great sense of humor, as I said, which can be quite off-putting at first because they are so reserved and professional about most of the things that they do. Now, they can be seen as picky, aloof, sarcastic, pessimistic, and sometimes whiny. Sorry, Virgo. They said it. I didn't, all right? Now, they're highly critical of themselves and others, but that is because they're seeking perfection. And typically, a Virgo will be a lot harder on themselves than they are on you. Now, their self-imposed modesty, however, is quite endearing. They're very sweet and kind people. Some people think, well, because they are so reserved and laid back and they keep a very professional exterior, that can sometimes lead to being called boring. No, not at all. As I said, Virgos have a very good sense of humor, quick wit, and they are also known as the secret freaks of the zodiac. Bet you didn't know that. Oh yeah, a Virgo will not let their guard down and let you see just how freaky they can be until they trust you. So, if your Virgo hasn't quite let you into their secret place, keep working at it. It's in there. Now, they analyze love and they seek perfection in all things. They are typically loyal to you, so they're great partners. Unless they're unsatisfied in your relationship, then you might have yourself a problematic Virgo. Conversations and intellectual connections tend to be what's most important to them. And they are typically neat and very well-groomed people. Virgos have been portrayed as the nagging, uptight type, but that is quite the contrary. That's a really bad name that's been given to Virgo. In fact, Virgos can be and are lots of fun in most settings. So, if you've got yourself a Virgo, you've got somebody that's quite interesting. How they'll match up with you? Well, stay tuned when I tell you what it's like for your sign to be matched with sun sign Virgo. Hello, Virgo with Gemini. Welcome to your matchup. Okay, right off the bat, the both of you, both Gemini and Virgo, are excellent communicators and very adaptable to your circumstances and different situations. So, if you want this pairing to work, I have great news. It can. But it's going to take some compromise and effort. Let's talk about it. Alrighty, Virgo with Gemini. Well, you're both have fast and active minds. What that means is you're quick with it. Somebody says something, you say something back, and you guys can go back and forth with the banter. Typically, and initially, it is something that it's flirtatious on Gemini's part, and it's inquisitive on Virgo's part, because Virgo likes to dig deep to see exactly how much of it do you really know. And of course, we know Gemini sun sign is known to be the great know-it-all of the zodiac, or at least they like to think so. Alrighty, so the fast minds, and you both have pretty good senses of humor, typically, all right? The problem here is that very quickly, Virgo and Gemini get into their heads because they're interested in exploring each other's mind, and they sometimes leave their heart out of it. So, Gemini and Virgo, that combination can quickly find itself in the friend zone if you're not careful. Alrighty? So, you want to watch that. You both prefer a rational argument or debate, should we say, and neither of you hold a grudge about it. You both can respect each other's opinion, even if there's a difference of opinion. Probably more so from the Gemini point of view than Virgo. Gemini typically let it go. Virgo might find themselves wondering, why are you thinking that way, and why aren't you just agreeing with me? Be that as it may, no grudges are typically held, and you can move past disagreements fairly easily. All right? Mentally, you're on a similar page. Both of you are typically known to be quite bright, some of the brightest in the zodiac, in fact, okay? But your temperaments are fairly different in how you express yourselves. Now, although neither of you are very needy emotionally, because you're spending a lot of time in your head, Virgo will not be here for your flirtatious ways, Gemini. Yeah, that's right. Don't deny it. Geminis are one of the biggest flirts of the zodiac sign, the sun signs. Yeah, that's right, Gemini. You are known as the big flirt. Well, cool it, okay? Virgo isn't here for it, and if you overplay that hand, you're going to pull the card of possessiveness from Virgo, which will unleash a barrage of observations from your Virgo partner, which I'm pretty sure you're not going to enjoy. Virgos have a way of killing you with the truth sometimes, and it's painful. So do yourself a favor, Gemini. You don't have to flirt with everybody all the time. Calm down. Reduce your number to 50%. I don't want you to be miserable. You got to be who you are. But, they get it. You're pretty magnetic. People are attracted to you. People like talking to you. That's one of the perks of being a Gemini. But you can calm it down, especially if this Virgo is someone you're interested in, and you are. I mean, you're watching the video, so you are. Okay, moving on. Point taken? Good. Alrighty, so Virgo, you like routine. All right? You like everything in its place and a place for everything. Your Gemini partner, perhaps not so much, okay? Geminis don't like too much structure. Every now and then, they like to let go and let God, so to speak. Go fly by the seat of their pants, because Geminis are notorious for becoming bored with routine. So Virgo, you're going to have to watch it. And by that, I mean, you're going to have to keep your Gemini interested. Yeah. How do you do that? Well, obviously, the conversation, as they're an air sign, so air signs enjoy great communication skills, so the conversation has to be great. But one good trick for you, Virgo, to keep your Gemini interested is to just hold back. You hold back your feelings, hold back a little bit of information about yourself. Let your Gemini remain intrigued about who you are and what you enjoy, and you won't find yourself having to deal with their notorious, sometimes disappearing act. Okay? So, Virgo, you can keep your structure. Gemini certainly can value some good pointers from learning the stability, while Virgo, you need to perhaps incorporate some of the lay back and chill mode that Gemini will bring to your life. So you see, it's a compromise, a little yin and yang. You know, Gemini, get a little bit more structure, work a little bit more. Virgo, work a little less, chill a little bit more. All right? So, but how does Gemini get Virgo to stop work mode and sit back and chill? And how does Virgo get Gemini, who's known as the attention deficit sign of the zodiac? I didn't say that about you, Gemini. That's what they say about you, honey. Attention spans, like, short. All right, so how do you two handle that? And how do you deal with these great debates that the two of you will have? How do you keep yourself out of the friend zone and stay in lover's lane? Well, I'll tell you that. I'll give you a couple of pointers. Meet me over at sohnjee.com for part 2 of Virgo with Gemini, where we discuss how these two great debaters that stay in their head can take your relationship out of your head and put it where it belongs, in your heart. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Leave your comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Until next time, see you on part 2. Bye-bye.